It's the segment of the show we like to call our Sports Buzz NFL Locks.
Need some guarantees for the upcoming NFL season?
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Don't worry, we have a lock on it. It's the Sports Buzz NFL Locks.
We got some good NFL talk coming up in the second hour. A lot of things going on, a lot of speculations already of what the offseason is going to be like upcoming. I know there's a lot of things with Matt Castle as well, but Todd and I will talk about that later in the second hour of the program. But this NFL lock thing, been doing it for the whole NFL season for right now. It's been something that's kind of caught a little guard, and I know the listeners in the chat room like to have a little fun with what we have as our Sports Buzz NFL locks, so we'll go ahead and get into it now. Lock number one. I did ask, the Giants just look phenomenal. I mean, just outplaying everyone they faced physically on at least 90% of the time. The Cleveland game, sure, that was a hiccup for them, but ever since then, they've been phenomenal.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Are they the most physical team in the NFL? Or the team we're kind of watching right now who just came back on Jacksonville, about the Tennessee Titans? Out of those, who are the two most physical teams in the NFL?
That is a very tough call right now. To be honest, I'm kind of stumped on that one. Obviously, you saw the Giants take it to what would be considered one of the more physical teams in the league today in Baltimore.
Took it to it.
We're seeing, Tennessee rally against what at one time was considered a very physical Jags team. I don't know, the jury's still kind of out on that this year. Oh, God, that's a really tough call because I don't think Tennessee gets nearly the respect that they deserve. If this was the New England Patriots sitting here with this record, it'd be a media frenzy, and it's not because it's Tennessee. I'm gonna go with the Giants just out of respect for the defending Super Bowl champions. It's literally splitting hairs. The Giants are more physical. Lock it up.
I would honestly have to agree with you. I mean, the way they just manhandled Baltimore today. I mean, Baltimore never, ever looked so pathetic against the run like they did today.
Yeah.
I mean, they stopped the run the way that defense is. But the Giants, I mean, that trio with, Dedrick Ward, Brandon Jacobs, of course, the huge running back, and Ahmad Bradshaw. I mean, you get hit with all three of those guys, there's no way to stop them because they're so different. And you've noticed as well that the Giants playmakers on the outside and Eli Manning have been benefiting from how well their offense has been with the run. But, hey, give some credit to the defense as well. Remember, O.C. Umenora out for the year. Michael Strahan retired. I've been put more pressure on Justin Tuck. And that defense is still physical and still hitting everyone as hard as they have. I mean, Tennessee's defense, I think, is the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
Hands down. And they got some powerful running plays from Chris Johnson and Lindell White as well. They got a strong offensive line. They're able to match up well in the trenches. But right now, I would have to give the edge to the Giants because of the way they've been doing it. Hickabilly saying that question we'll find out in the Super Bowl. Tennessee and New York. I think that'll be a very smash-mouth Super Bowl game to check out. But right now, I give a slight edge to the Giants as well. Lock number two. Tony Romo is back in the lineup for the Dallas Cowboys tonight as they take on the Washington Redskins. Is Tony Romo enough to get the Cowboys back into the playoff chase and back to win the division? Him coming back, is that what the Cowboys needed?
They're not going to win that division. That's the Giants for the taking. Maybe he can get them into the playoffs. Tonight is going to be a crucial step in doing that. You got to question how healthy he is. I personally believe the Cowboys are a mess, and I don't think Tony Romo coming back will be the answer to all their problems. Especially when you look at the South, is probably going to get two teams in, the conference winner and the division winner, and that second place team will probably be the wild card. The Cowboys have their work cut out for them. I don't think Romo is enough. Lock it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to help them. I think they are going to get back into contention. To me, there's so much talent on this Cowboy team. There really is. I mean, something, somehow, some way has to get them going. And I remember we had this conversation a while back with the Cowboys. You know, they just have so much talent, but who's going to step up and be a leader on that team and get things rolling? I mean, you're not going to see T.O. doing that because he's too selfish of a guy. We're starting to see that from Roy Williams as well. I don't think Tony Romo has the personality to be a leader. I mean, he's got all the talent, but, he's more of the, hey, I just want to be buddy-buddy with everyone. That's what it seems like. They just want to be buddy-buddy with each other instead of someone just taking a stand. An example of Tom Brady grab some people by the throat and say, get with the program or get off my ship, and one or the two.
Yeah.
And I don't see that in Tony Romo.
And that's what this team needs, Ryan, because obviously when you look at the top, there's not that from the coaching staff, and I think that's what's the problem for this team. We all know they've got a coach in the waiting, and Wade Phillips is just kind of like a figurehead, and really, do you think anybody on that sideline respects him? And I'm not saying that's the right attitude to have, but I think you're absolutely right, and there's nobody stepping up. There's no captain of the team. There may be people wearing the C, but there's no captain of the team like a Troy Aikman or an Emmitt Smith would have back in the day, or even a Michael Irvin, and got this team wrangled and going in the right direction.
Yeah, granted, I think Tony Romo will help big time. It will get the offense back on track, and I think they'll get to the playoffs. I think for right now, because of the way things stand, that he will be enough to get them into the playoffs, but that's it. This whole talk of they'll win their first playoff game in 12 years, forget it. That's not happening. But I think it will be enough to get them into the playoffs, not any further, though. So that's where I say lock it up. Lock number 3. The opponents of the Cowboys tonight. It is D'Angelo Hall's first game as a Washington Redskin. D'Angelo Hall was cut by the Oakland Raiders a couple weeks ago. Now he's with the Redskins. The acquisition of D'Angelo Hall will either help or hurt the Redskins defense and for their chase for the playoffs. Right now, the Redskins have the 8th best defense against the pass in the NFL. They have Carlos Rogers. They have LaRon Landry. They have some good secondary guys as well. You throw in a D'Angelo Hall, who has proven he can play in the NFL, but he is also a guy that's kind of a head case. Does he help or hurt the Redskins?
I think inevitably, anytime you can pick up a talent like D'Angelo Hall, that is going to help you. How quickly he's going to grasp the defensive schemes and things of that nature for the Redskins, time will tell that. I don't know if he makes the immediate impact tonight in tonight's game, but I think as we see the final few weeks wear on, he definitely becomes a help to that team, and as you said, makes that defense maybe from going the 8th best team to the 7th or 6th best team against the pass. I think he definitely helps them lock it up.
I would say as well, if he can keep his head screwed on straight, he'll help out. But I mean, this is a different scenario. He's on a winning team that has the option of getting to the playoffs. This team does have a future. I like where the Redskins are going. I think I've said that before on this program, where I like what the Redskins have done. I like Jason Campbell as a quarterback. I said that he would have the tangibles to be playing like a Pro Bowl quarterback this year. He has done that. I think all around it does help the Redskins, and I think he'll actually have more common sense and try to be a helper instead of a headache because of the scenario he's in now with Washington. So, I mean, that's something to keep an eye on as well. D'Angelo Hall will help the Redskins getting back into the playoffs. Lock it up. Lock number 4.